Hello and welcome, this is Alexa from InnoGames and I'm here to bring you the March episode of InnoGames TV. This is a special edition, it's our last time here in our old office bringing you the news. Next month we'll be in our new office in downtown Hamburg. So let's see what my colleagues are doing in their last days in this space. Forge of Empires just brought Guild vs. Guild into the game. My colleague Fabio talked to game designers Anvar and Pierre about the new feature. A new look into Grepolis, game designer Marcel shows you the new city overview. Love is in the air. Our West team shows you exclusive background material from their Valentine's event. New information from Tribal Wars 2. Our game designer Thomas talks about the new units, tactics, and his favorite warrior. Small symbol, big impact. Our Tribal Wars team included a new command strength indicator in the game. Let's begin with Forge of Empires and the new Guild vs. Guild feature.
Hey everyone, this is Fabio from InnoGames, and today I'm here with two of Forge of Empires game designers, namely Anvar.
Hi Fabio.
And Per.
Hi Fabio.
So, we're here to talk about Guild vs. Guild today. Please, Per, explain to me, what is Guild vs. Guild, the new feature of Forge of Empires?
Just a really general overview. It's our big, giant feature for guilds, where they compete on one big, persistent continent, which means they can compete there for years against each others and with their guildmates.
Alright, so Per, how do I start playing Guild vs. Guild? What's the first steps I have to do?
That's actually very simple. In this city view that you already know, there is a button on the bottom left of the window. And if you click that, it takes you to the map of continents, which is for the guild battles. And there you choose the province in which you want to go, in which you want to fight. And when you click on the province, it takes you into the detailed view where you see all the sectors. And there you go and choose the sector where you want to either place a siege army or where you run an attack or where you want to strengthen your defense.
So, what about the armies? How do I work with the armies?
So it basically works like this. Before you can attack a sector, before you can take over a sector, either like an NPC sector, like how they are at the beginning, or the sector of another guild, you first have to call dibs on that sector. And you do that by placing a siege army. One of the guys in the guild places a siege army. And once the sector is besieged, all the other guild members can start attacking that sector. And when they run enough attacks, when they defeat the sector a certain amount of time, enough to kill all the defending armies in it, then they take over the sector.
So Anvar, how do the ages come into play?
Yes, we have a big continent with several provinces. Players know about this already from the campaign map. And in each province you are bound to the goods and armies of that age.
All right. Which age do I have to take part in Guild vs. Guild?
You have to be in Iron Age, so players who are Bronze Age only, they cannot take place. Basically, they're just started the game and we want them to learn the other parts of the game. So, but once you reach Iron Age, you can take place. You can participate in Guild vs. Guild. And yeah, of course, you have to be a member of a guild as well. That comes without saying, right?
Yeah, of course. So Anvar, why should I play Guild vs. Guild? What's in for me?
Yeah, as the guild competes for power in the maps, it collects power and then levels up. And with an increased guild level, you actually get increasing rewards and power-ups for your own play.
All right. So, Per, I heard there is a ranking too.
Of course, of course. There was a guild ranking before, but we redid that. We take into account how good a guild is doing on the Guild vs. Guild provinces. And there's one global guild ranking. Of course, you want to compete with your guild to be number one. But we also have, for the different provinces, we have map rankings. And if you manage to be in the top 3 of those map rankings, you also get rewarded.
Sounds good. What about the strategic goals? Is there anything you want to add in terms of strategies?
Yeah, as many players will know, we have a large variety of players. Some are more engaged, some are less engaged. And Forge of Empires is always aiming to bring all those kinds of players into one common game. And that's actually what we hope to achieve with this feature. The planners and the strategic masterminds can do their thing. The more casual players can contribute goods to their guild's efforts, so everyone can really have fun.
That sounds really amazing. So finally, a big PvP feature in Forge of Empires, Guild vs. Guild. I'm looking forward to it, so go check it out now.
Next up, our Grepolis team is working hard on visual improvements. Marcel Zons will show you the current state of the new city overview.
Hey, I'm Marcel, one of the game designers of Grepolis. Last time, I have shown you the Heroes feature for mobile devices. The first test worlds with the feature enabled have already been started. So far, the feature runs pretty well, and players seem to like it. However, we have a survey running on those worlds to see if any additional adjustments need to be made. Nonetheless, today I would rather like to talk about the upcoming full-screen town overview. For new players, the initial experience of the game is very important in order for them to decide whether they want to continue with the game or not. To improve this early game experience, we will make the town overview more haptic and visually appealing. With this feature in place, the town overview will not be shown anymore as a mere window. You can freely drag the view and look at some of the town's surroundings. You can switch the view simply with the buttons at the top left. Along with this change, we will also modernize the construction menu. You will be able to easily see which buildings are currently being upgraded. And with a click on the hammer icon, you can issue new building orders on a whim. This change is currently in development and will go live rather soon. In the game design department, we're currently working on a concept to overhaul the tutorial. I hope we can tell you something more about it in the next episode of InnoGames TV. Goodbye!
From behind the scenes in the West office, the Valentine's Day event started 2 weeks ago, and the team will show you exactly how they made the event and what's coming up for the future.
Hello, welcome to the West office. My name is Peter, I'm the lead graphic artist of the West team. And today I will show you how I created the graphical assets for the Valentine's Day event. First thing I created as a main or basic graphic for the event was a heart completely in 3D. I wanted to give it a more realistic look, and I would create it so that I could use it as an icon or in the background or for anything else for the event. The next thing I did, saved the file in 2D and opened it in Photoshop, and I created several versions of it, some bigger versions, some smaller versions, which will be used in different graphics for the event. The next thing I did was a mock-up for the user interface, where I used the heart and different user interface elements, and to show how it would look in the game. So I showed you all the graphical stuff I did for the Valentine's Day event. Now I will hand over to our developer Mihao, who implemented all the graphics into the game itself.
So hi, I'm Michael, and I'm a front-end developer for the game West. And I'm supposed to show you a bit how the process of development or front-end development looks like from my perspective. So front-end is a rather tricky aspect of game producing because it's basically the last chain of production. At this moment, everything regarding the requested feature should be prepared. There is a full concept from the game design, there is full design from the graphic artists which describe more or less what we want to achieve. But this is all non-functioning. There are just some ideas how this should interact with each other, how it should entertain the players. Our task as a front-end developers is actually to make it happen, to make this graphic, which is just like a representation, into a working product in the game. To make it actually working, we have to go somewhere into a quite boring / gibberish thingy, which is called coding, which is basically combining the backend stuff, everything that backend developers prepared, all the mechanics of the game, getting the data from there and actually making it into something visual with which you can interact in, and at the very end we can style it with using those building blocks from the graphical artists, so we make them looking a little bit like they wanted to. So after doing all the tests internally and externally, we release the feature to you, the players. As a matter of fact, the Valentine's event should still be running on our servers in the moment we release this video. So go on, check it out, and do tell us if we did our job good or not.
As you know, Tribal Wars 2 is all about the fighting. Therefore, units play a really important role in the game. Our game designer Thomas will show you all of the new units and give you some tips and tricks for our upcoming strategy hits.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm the lead game designer for Tribal Wars 2, and today I want to talk about units and some tactics for the battle system. Of
course, the battle system in Tribal Wars 2 is similar to the old one, so still all old tactics will work. We have two kinds of units. There are the offensive units and the defensive units. Of course, the defensive units are for defending your village, and offensive units are for attacking other villages or plundering barbarian villages to get resources. We have now 13 units, especially the two new units have special abilities. So the trebuchet, for example, is there to counter enemy attacks with siege weapons, because the trebuchet is able to destroy siege weapons before they enter battle. So if the enemy attacks with 1,000 rams, then you only need 1,000 trebuchets in your village, and the rams are gone before they could enter or reach your wall. The Berserker, which is a nice new offensive unit, because it will fight with more power if he's fighting against a superior army. The generals are for more experienced players. They allow players to perform different tactics that aren't able in the old Tribal Wars. The simplest one is that they can simply raise the attack power a bit, plunder more, or like the hospital building, which is for the defender that heals units after the battle. You got a general that's the medic, and he does the same for the attacker. So after the battle, he resurrects some units, and they will march back in the village and can fight again. My favorite unit is, of course, the Berserker, the new unit, because I like the artwork and I like the way they behave in battle.
From our newest game to our oldest, Tribal Wars just received an update that includes command icons. Robert will tell you all about it.
Hi, welcome to the Tribal Wars office. I'm Robert, the product manager for Tribal Wars, and I wanted to show you a bit of what we've got planned for you in the next update. One of the things we've got is the inventory system. Here at the moment, all we've got is giftable premium features, and we also have event prizes in here. What we plan in the future is to also migrate the paladin items over here. One other thing we've got is command icons. When you've got a lot of attacks running, you might lose overview of what's going on. So our solution for this is adding these command icons. If you had a premium account, you could, if you wanted to, go to the effort of renaming your attacks so that you know exactly what to swear. For the people who don't want to go to that effort or that level of detail, we've added the command icons. They will show what is approximately in your commands. Here we've got a small attack, a medium attack with 1,000 to 5,000 troops, and here we've got a large attack, more than 5,000 troops and even one nobleman. Of course, you'll also be able to see these icons later on the report screen. Here we've got the small attack hits and the medium attacks. And over here we've got a attack sent with the farm assistant. Alright guys, thanks for watching. You can expect these and other improvements in version 8.19. See you in game.
InnoGames is on the move. As mentioned before, the move to our new headquarters in central Hamburg will begin shortly. Therefore it's time for all of our colleagues to start packing and dispose of the old stuff. But that's not so easy. We found a lot of things which we believe to be lost in the lockers, and we have to decide what to keep and what to throw away. The new headquarters was completely renovated and exactly adapted to our needs. Among a lot of light, sunny offices, we will also have a huge number of game-themed meeting rooms. In addition to that, we're looking forward to a new barista bar and our own gym. The whole company is already very excited, and hopefully we will be able to show you in the next episode how we managed to move to our new offices.
That was it for our March edition of InnoGames TV. Thanks a lot for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.